Today I'm talking about Shalimar Millesime Iris. This is a limited edition version of Shalimar, and every year Guerlain launches a limited edition version. I think, it appeals to collectors who are maybe already familiar with Shalimar and gets them coming to the counter and buying more Shalimar but in a different version. So I can see what the attraction is. And I think it's a cool idea because Shalimar's been around for over 100 years. So if you know someone or have someone in your life that already loves it, what a great gift to give them. Every year is a version of Shalimar that they haven't ever been exposed to before. It's brand new. It's only here for a limited amount of time, and a great way of owning a piece of that Shalimar history, but not the exact same perfume. So that's cool and interesting, and I can totally see why it appeals to people. It definitely appeals to the collector in me. And I get it. Like, I get that limited edition thing. I get how they're able to create some hype. I think it's good. However, in 2023, this pre-launched on the website ahead of time. So before it even came to counters, you could go on the Guerlain website and order yourself a bottle. And by the time people got it, from what I saw, the counter still had not even received their bottles yet. So you still couldn't buy it from your Guerlain associate at whatever store you're shopping at, but people that had bought it online already had it in their hands. So there is, I don't know if there's some hype created because of that, or that decreases the hype, but it's sold out pretty quickly. And then even at the counter, like, the way that they sell stuff now is a lot of it is online and over the phone or through text and apps and stuff like that. So even the Guerlain counter here sold out of it very, very quickly just from regular buyers. And I definitely had my name on a list too. I was willing to blind buy it. I just wanted it. And I was happy to pay whatever price there was for it. But then I ended up being out of town when it came to the counter, so I missed it. And I hadn't pre-ordered it. And I was fine with missing it, but then when I got back into town, I found out that there was a bottle for me, and I was really happy about that and happy that I did get to buy a bottle. So this is the Millesime version, and you can see that it has a sticker that says Millesime on it, and it says Shalimar, obviously, but it doesn't say Iris, and the Iris is on a sticker at the bottom of the bottle. So at the bottom, it does say Shalimar Millesime Iris in teeny tiny letters right there. So this is my bottle. I did blind buy it. Honestly, by the time it got into my hands, I had seen some reviews of it, so I wasn't unfamiliar with it, but I never really saw any negative reviews. And that's even when people, none of the reviews I watched or read were gifted from a gifted bottle. Everybody had bought it with their own money. They had blind bought it off a website or at the counter and received it and was really happy to have it in their hands. But I don't think that the description was necessarily unbiased, because people like me were super happy just to have this limited edition version of Shalimar in their hands. So that idea of when you pay for a bottle, your review is going to be unbiased, I think is a little bit, deserves a little bit more nuance, because I didn't find that to be the case. I didn't really read or see any negative reviews of it. And I don't know if people are scared to say something negative about Guerlain or about Shalimar because so many people love it. I don't know what the reason is. I don't know these people, so I can only speculate. I have no idea why. I'll preface my discussion about Shalimar Iris by saying that earlier this year, I was kind of putting out there that I wanted to get to know Shalimar. I was not familiar with it, and someone was nice enough to send me a whole bunch of different versions of the perfume, and there were different variations, like the souffle version and an eau de cologne, eau de toilette, and I could put them on paper and compare them, and then put them on skin and compare them. My favorite version was the eau de cologne in the Montre bottle, so that's a round bottle. It's a dabber bottle, like it has a stopper on it, and it is vintage, and that was my favorite version. I really liked the balance of citrus and vanilla that Shalimar is known for. Both of those were there, and there was also like an animalic quality and leather. So I thought that that kept things really interesting, and I wasn't aware that Shalimar was that interesting. I thought it would be like a lemon pound cake or something more boring, and it really wasn't. It was quite interesting and fun to wear, so that was my favorite version. And then so I have a video of that. I can totally link to that. And then I ended up getting this vintage or older bottle of the eau de cologne, and I really enjoyed this too. I wore it a ton over the summer, and then I kind of stopped wearing it because I didn't have very much left, and I didn't want to run out. So I wish I didn't do that. I wish I just wore things until they were done, and I didn't. But this is my favorite version. I still think that it's got the interesting aspects of the vintage, and it's still wearable today, especially in the summer, because it has a good amount of citruses. So this is my favorite version. What I hear from other people is that, the eau de cologne is quite bergamot heavy, and is a little bit more difficult to wear, difficult to love because of that. In my experience, I didn't find that to be the case. I mean, it is the case that it is bergamot heavy, but that didn't make it difficult for me. That actually was what I liked about it. So that's me. That's where I'm coming from in my personal tastes. What I found about the Millesime Reese is that it really is like the 2023 version of Shalimar. And it leans into the trend of very sweet perfumes and very rich scents. And the caramel in this really is a lot of caramel, and then a little bit of iris and vanilla. It's definitely not as floral. It's not citrusy. It really takes Shalimar in a different direction. But like I said, it's a 2023 direction. So this is maybe the Gen Z version of Shalimar, where you don't have anything that's challenging. You have something that's very sweet, very long lasting, has great sillage and presence, but definitely a lot different than an older version of Shalimar that you may have come to know and love. And I get why. I get it. You want people to wear this and enjoy it and love it. And if you're introducing it to the 2023 customer, maybe that's what they want. And keeping in mind that people are blind buying this perfume, you want it to be something that everybody is going to like. You don't want to introduce something that's very animalic or leathery, because the vast majority of people that are purchasing this without smelling it maybe are not going to like it, especially if those people are women, because this does lean a little bit feminine. And I think Shalimar, traditionally is thought of as a perfume for women, although I think that the older versions are definitely, anybody could wear them. They're so interesting and wearable, and not as feminine as this version. But if you think that women are going to blind buy this, then probably you want to appeal to them. If they're going to be the Gen Z people, then they probably have a nose or a proclivity to wearing sweeter scents, because that really seems to be the market trend right now, which is fine. Trends are what they are. So Shalimar Millesime Iris really goes in that direction and leans into being a scent for this generation. So this is, like I said, a caramel, vanilla, perfume. It's got iris in it, but iris root tends to be the powderiness that we get when we wear Shalimar. I have the eau de parfum version also, and I was wearing this a few weeks ago, and someone told me that they could smell baby powder, and that was my perfume. I mean, I like the eau de parfum still better than the eau de or the Millesime Reese. I don't think that this is really an iris forward perfume, even though it has iris in the name. And so that to me was a little bit kind of a misnomer. I think that iris is really trending, and every now and then I'll see people that are on an iris journey and they want to try all the iris perfumes that they can get their hands on. And really this year we've seen a lot of brands, a lot of people just lean into wanting that perfect iris scent. I think part of it is that idea that orris root is one of the most expensive materials in perfumery. You know, not only are you just using the root of this particular flower, but you're taking it and drying it for many years, like 5 or 6 years, and then you're grinding it up and creating a perfume material out of it so that you can use it in fragrance. And that aging process is what makes it kind of expensive, because you can't do anything with it while it's just sitting there in like a basement waiting to be used. You know, it's kind of like not making you money while that's happening, and the money or the payoff is going to come in 5, 6, 7 years after you finally use it. And you have to age that material in order for it to give its scent, I guess. So that myth around orris root being so expensive makes it really appealing to people. People want something that's hard to get and special. Like, you want to feel like you're wearing something special. And so iris is really attractive for that reason, especially once you know about that, you know. And like, it does smell good. I like iris-based scents. I like that they are powdery. I love powder in my perfumes. There's a lightness, there's an airiness that iris root can add. Sometimes it smells like carrot. That's probably my least favorite version. Sometimes it smells like, any kind of root vegetable, or like that earthiness or dirtiness that we associate with digging around in the garden and getting something out, like harvesting or foraging. It kind of brings to mind that earthiness, and that's lovely. I love that. And so, again, all of that mythologizes that iris note, whether brands are using real iris concrete or not. It does just create a certain amount of hype around it. And so I can see how, if you're creating a special version, it would seem worth it to put that iris name in the name of the bottle, in the name of the perfume. And that a certain amount of people who are really leaning into their journey with iris are going to want to smell it and buy it, and certainly that was the appeal for me. If I had heard that this version was a caramel version or a vanilla version, I really wouldn't have wanted to smell it. And when someone sent me the version from last year, which is Millesime Tonka, I wasn't really that interested in it, but I did like that version of it too. So, it smells like it's for Gen Z. They named it for people that are perfume lovers, Shalimar lovers, and know about iris root and want something that's irisy, but it doesn't deliver on that iris front. And again, I'll go back to when I was talking about people reviewing it, even though they had paid for it themselves. A lot of people just really love Guerlain, and a lot of people really love Shalimar. So they were just happy to have a bottle. I didn't think I was going to get a bottle, and then I got one. I was happy about that, but I kind of, when I sprayed it, I didn't realize that there would be so much caramel in it, and I am getting tons and tons and tons of caramel. So be aware of that when you spray it, if you spray it. Caramel always reminds me of product candy, and They are a lot alike. Prada Candy is caramel and musk. It has a high dose of benzoin in it, and it's not as rich and thick as Shalimar and Millesime Reese. I mean, Prada Candy is also not limited edition, and it's been around forever, so it's nothing special in that way. It's just a really good perfume that people can get anytime, so there's no kind of hype around it, but they kind of created a Prada Candy version of Millesime Reese. And then when I posted about this on Instagram, I was kind of asking, like, is there really a place for a candy version of Iris? And a lot of people did say that they don't care if they have both. Like, they're happy to have Prada Candy in their collection, and they're happy to have Shalimar and Millesime in their collection because they like Prada Candy, and they don't mind if they're just wearing more Prada Candy. So, I mean, I like Prada Candy too, but I don't like that much repetition. I don't think I need more than one in my perfume collection. Like, I'm just happy with the one. Whereas, like, for Shalimar, there are places where I have lots of repetition in my collection. So I have many versions of Shalimar in my collection. I'm happy with that because I think they both give me something different. You know, this is more citrusy, it's lighter, it's great to wear in the summer, and this is more of a fall scent, you know, and a little bit more leathery. So for me, these are different enough that I can enjoy both. But in the case of Candy and Shalimar Millesime Reese, I don't really know if they're different enough to offer me something special or for me to keep both in my collection. For sure, I think if I had smelled Millesime Reese at the counter, I probably wouldn't have bought it. So that's my honest opinion. And that being said, you know, even though I've only worn this fragrance a handful of times, I haven't been compelled to get rid of it either. Not yet, at least. So, yeah. Take that for what it's worth. But that's the review. Those are my thoughts. Let me know what you think. And let me know if you have smelled this version or if you want to. And what you think about limited edition perfumes. Like, I know people feel a little bit of resentment and FOMO when things sell out and they can't get them anymore. And it's like brands are creating this hype for no reason. They could just make many bottles. But I get the reason for hype, and it's nice to get something that you can't get all the time, even if it's nothing special. It's fine. Like, everything in life is, think of everything as limited edition because nothing is going to be available forever. So that's it from me. Bye-bye.